Come to the lovely, beautiful Ha Long Bay in Vietnam with me and my husband. So let's take it from the top. We are getting ready. One of the things I really loved about taking trips and doing excursions in Hanoi is that most of the time transportation was included, and Vietnam is such a budget travel destination. So here is us on the bus. You can see the motorbikes, very, very Vietnam. And then our tour guide was just keeping us updated on all the things that were happening. So first we stopped at this Pearl Museum that was all about oysters. Now here's the thing, y'all. I absolutely love oysters, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I was kind of like, why are we here? It was crowded, and it just whenever you are going out on a cruise, in my opinion, this was just the kind of thing that I did not care about. But I was like, whatever. I still looked around and gave it a shot. I did learn a lot about oysters. I have to be very honest with you. I learned a lot more than I ever did. And then we even got to see how people take oyster pearls and make them into pearl necklaces, which was cool. I will give them that. And then, of course, there's a shop, because there's always shops, right? Because obviously this is tourism and they want to make sure they are getting them coined. So we were there for a little bit, and then we got back on the bus. This was also a nice bus. Now, y'all, there are so many different choices of who to book with for Ha Long Bay for Vietnam, and I did so much research, and I'm so glad I chose this company and did the day trip. So finally we actually get to the port for Ha Long Bay. Again, you can see it's pretty crowded here, just kind of hard to avoid, but it was cute out here. There was a lot of people, but I knew that it wasn't going to be super crazy on our boat, and there were definitely a lot of boats out there. Shout out to our boat, because it was one of the newer ones. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, some of them boats I was like, I'm real glad we not on them. And at the end of the day, we didn't spend a ton of time on the boat, but for the time we spent on there, I'm glad that we had a nice one. So it actually did come with a free buffet. The food was pretty good. It wasn't amazing, it wasn't terrible. And then the beautiful views, y'all, and these views do not even do it justice. I would definitely try to go on a more sunny day. Believe it or not, even though that looks really cloudy, we actually had one of these sunnier days. So like the views, I mean, I promise you these videos do not do it justice. Ha Long Bay is absolutely stunning. So we take the cruise and we are just cruising through, and the tour guide is telling us about different parts of Ha Long Bay, telling us good spots to take photos. He was actually really nice about taking photos and videos for us as well. So at this point, we're on the cruise and we are just enjoying these absolutely beautiful views. And then we go to a cave, but first we had to climb a lot of steps. A lot of the things I did in Vietnam, I realized looking back that there were a lot of steps. But once you got into the cave, minus how crowded it was so cool, y'all. Like, I've been in some caves before, but this one was massive, and it was just really cool to be in. Like I said, a lot of people in there, I'll be honest about that. So you gotta be mindful if you want to get that content. But the cave was dope. The cave was absolutely beautiful. So anywho, climbing back up to get out of the cave. Remember, steps on steps on steps for this excursion in Vietnam. So then we headed back to the boat. I'm turning around to talk to my husband apparently here. And then we put in our life jackets because we are about to do the speedboat. So I read in the reviews that the speedboat was really fun. So there was an option to do like a regular boat, but I was like, let's speedboat it. So this is me and my husband, a guy named David who was traveling with our group, and then a girl named Summer who we actually met while we were traveling. Love meeting new people while I'm traveling, y'all. This speedboat was scary. Like, this guy was doing a lot. You can't even tell from this video the way he was like whipping and just doing all the things with that boat. It was fun though. So then we go into one of these regular, more regular boats, and this is where we get the option to just do another little mini cruise along the bay. So the funny thing about this is you had the option to do this type of boat, or you could kayak. Listen, me and my husband kayaked for the first time in Costa Rica, and I was like, you know what, I don't need to do this again. But you can see there are some people out there kayaking, and yeah, listen, go ahead with your bad self. But this little area was just so beautiful, and it was a vibe out here. Like, it was nice. The breeze was blowing. Some people were just like, waving at us. There were people out there singing. This was really, really cute. And we were definitely keeping an eye out for the people who were kayaking. And then we still got to go under like some little mini caves. So y'all, honestly, this whole day was just about stunning views. Like, there just kept being more of them. Like, you literally just enjoy being out and looking at how beautiful it is here on the water, and really immersing yourself in Vietnamese culture, because Ha Long Bay is actually a pretty popular place even for Vietnamese people based on what they told me. So here we are, more views, and then we headed to another spot, and y'all are not going to believe this, but in fact, more steps. more steps. So this was like an actual hike for steps just to get this view right here, which was, don't get me wrong, the view was beautiful, but after being on the water, I was kind of like meh about it. But at the end of the day, it was a beautiful view. Overall, that was pretty much it. And overall, I highly recommend this. It's such a popular thing to do in Vietnam, and it's so beautiful. Again, try to make sure you go on a day that's not too crowded. Let me know if y'all have any questions.